does it not tie in though? The whole point I was trying to make
to astrology? No, it doesn't tie into astrology at all.
The whole point,
Isaac going hard.
Listen, look. The whole point I was trying to make is that we advance so much, so fast that what do you think the next 5 years? Within the next 5 years,
I think you're thinking of astronomy.
delete all that shit. Delete everything.
Joe Rogan doesn't have a single thing to say that I couldn't hear from a 14-year-old freshman who just discovered Monster Energy drinks and weed.
Who said that?
That's a meme.
Yeah.
That is.
I've been listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, man. He's a man.
I mean, I love
and it's not even that he's good. It's just he just has the recipe.
I think that means he's good, though, right? I mean, he has a way of talking to people to get them open up. And
no, I just mean he has the platform, the format. It's the rest. He doesn't even say anything half the time.
That's why he has it. He's been doing this for what, 15 years or something. I mean, you don't think that you think. So why do you think his podcast is as popular as it is?
Because of the people that he can get on, and because of what the people are saying. That's interesting. If you ever listen to him, the reason he's such a good host because he doesn't talk.
Yeah, that's how you have a conversation. You listen to people. You don't overtalk them a lot like you do. You ask them questions.
All right, we're done talking.
All right, we're the Storytellers. It's me, Trell. This is Cairo, and then we got Isaac and Nathan on ones and twos. We're recording, right? Yes. All right, cool. Let's get started. Tell us about your astrology stuff you were talking about, Cairo.
No, I'm really into it, and it's not astrology. Like it isn't like signs and the Libra.
Is your moon rising or setting?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm just talking about. So I've been researching Albert Einstein and his importance to the world.
Was he a Leo?
I'm gonna say he's a Cancer because that's how he died. But
that's such a Pisces thing to say.
Sometimes I'm a Gemini, so it goes both ways. No, so
you go both ways.
Well, yeah, because I'm in the astrology, obviously. Listen, so I've been listening to Albert Einstein and his theories.
You've been listening to Albert Einstein. Does he have a podcast right now?
I was gonna say, are you also into like communing with the dead?
Is this a seance?
No, this is science. Pay attention. Listen, I'm trying to explain to you why I'm into it because it's like, see, now I'm afraid to talk. I'm gunshot because I was gonna say the world is on the axis to where you can see Saturn, Jupiter,
Uranus.
Well, you can see contrails. I meant to tell you that earlier. Mars, like you can see all these things, and we really have so many new discoveries, and like science is advancing so fast. So the topic was, how soon do you think we'll be able to discover, alien life?
You mean in outer space?
So when I say alien, I get the term is relative, but yeah, intergalactic. From outer space.
Interstellar.
And it doesn't have to be intelligent life. It's just microorganisms.
I mean, I don't think we found intelligent life on Earth yet.
I honestly, and all jokes aside, that's when I was researching Albert Einstein, and it's like the discoveries that he came up with, the theories, they were so advanced, and it's like it was a brick wall after he made these discoveries, of relativity, E equals MC squared, the speed of light, all of that, the way the Earth has its axis. After that, there was really no major discoveries after that. Like, he basically figured out everything that we needed for like 50 years. This is from 19...
I feel like Stephen Hawking is kind of rolling over in his grave.
Yeah. I feel like
he's rode his entire life.
That's also true.
But the thing is, where are you hearing that from? Because I think what happens is you have like, of course, he was who he was. Albert Einstein was who he was, and
but
there was
do you know who he was? Like, this guy was the smartest person ever. Like, he was a one-man wrecking crew by himself. Like, the things that he came up with, he had no help. Like, there wasn't like a conglomerate of people, like scientists in the world. It was like, this guy was so smart that he was like the most Jewish person in the world. And even Hitler was like, hey, we have to protect this guy at all costs. Like, literally.
I'm trying not to talk over you because so Isaac can hear.
Well, you shouldn't do that anyways.
Well, stop doing it to me. But
it's part of my strategy. That was my game plan for this episode.
So, but like Albert Einstein,
you could have talked over the part where he was like defending Hitler a little bit, or using Hitler as like a positive part of his argument. Did you just
defend Hitler?
Hitler was so smart, and I don't want to sound anti-Semitic, but Hitler was so smart that.
All right, guys, it's been a great podcast. We'll catch you guys next week.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, so like Albert Einstein was really smart. He was a genius, like you say. He invented some things, discovered a lot of things. But for you kind of said like there was a roadblock for our culture as far as like
when I say human culture. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't think that's the way it works. It's like Thomas Edison invented something, and then it's like
don't get me started on Edison.
But that
Edison
was during
didn't
during
the
the revolution.
But what I'm saying is like you have these big discoveries and big inventions, and then you have like a time period of smaller things where it's not something very important. Like for example, peanut butter, wherever you want to put that in the scale, was invented, and then you had someone who invented something else.
Well, let's do the scale. Isaac Newton discovered that the Earth was round.
Okay.
Well, no, but it would have been Galileo that kind of made that first.
You got to remember you have like Socrates and Plato, all these people.
Those people weren't real. I'm talking about that's mythology.
What?
We don't need to hear about Socrates and Galileo.
I think I'm starting to understand. He knows nothing about science.
I do. I'm
You're an astrologer.
You just found a third grade book on like I know about Albert Einstein, and it's just like holy crap.
No, this dude downloaded an app about astrology and started looking up his sign, and then realized he didn't know.
Well, no, the point wasn't about Einstein. Okay, so you have Galileo. What I'm saying is you have to level out what's more important. Not important, but you can't compare peanut butter to how the stars works, how galaxies work,
right?
How gravity
Actually, you can, because here's the thing. How the stars work does not affect me at all. Peanut butter? That shit affects me very much every day. That's way more important to me. Exactly. The peanut butter thing is way more important to me than the theory of relativity.
I mean, I get that. I was making a point. I just forget what it was, but it's like.
I mean, that is a very Gemini type of thing to do.
Yeah, it is. I was trying to get to how long do you think it would take until we find
intelligent life?
It doesn't even have to be intelligent life.
Just
never.
So like on Mars, I think they thought they discovered some frozen water or something, which means there could be organisms in the water and stuff like that. And I think it turned out to not be true, right? Maybe
they haven't discovered.
It's inconclusive. They haven't discovered it yet,
but
I think it's plausible.
But again, though, let's say if there is, right? Then what? What are you getting at? When you say how long?
Well, I was asking the question. I mean, we can go further into it, but I was just asking how long do you think?
What do you think, Isaac?
Well,
there was actually a very interesting book that I read one time about like intelligent life in the universe. And I think there might be a day when we find, like you said, like algae or some like single cell organism type of thing on other planets. I don't think we will ever find, if there is out there or not, I don't think we'll ever find a way to communicate with another intelligent species out there.
Yeah, I think if there was, how can I say this? So I actually believe there could be something out there in space. As far as us discovering it in our lifetime, probably not. But you never know. That could happen tomorrow. It could have happened already and we just don't know about it. Or just the fact that there's nothing out there at all. But let's say if there is life outside of Earth, right? I feel like we have to get things right here on Earth before we are able to go out there, because we're, as it is, are going to war with each other, having so many.
That's the point I was trying to get to.
We're having arguments about stupid stuff all the time. But then if our world expands to the point where we're going to different planets, or like discovering other organisms or intelligent life outside of our planet, that's just going to get even worse. Because it's going to be interplanet. I don't think we're able to travel that fast to other planets and stuff. But if there is a way, and we start beefing with other planets and other species, that's going to be terrible, man. This stuff you see in like movies.
We can't even come together as a human race. So if we do have to go to war right now with, let's just say, Space Hitler, because that seems to be the topic of the episode. Like, how do we even get everyone together and be like, all right, forget all this stuff. The whole, slavery thing, that's in the past. We're good now. So let's all come together and let's go fight these other guys.
It'll have to be.
Let's all join the Space Force.
Right. We literally have a Space Force now.
Yeah, we do. But wasn't a Space Force because of like asteroids and like figuring out how to protect our Earth from things that can destroy us that?
That's what they told us. And I'm not a tinfoil. I'm not one of those guys.
I don't know astrology.
No, I'm not. I'm not one of those guys. I'm just saying, do we need a Space Force for comets? We understand how comets work thanks to Albert Einstein.
But it's also
well, because we know how things travel, why they travel, at the speed they travel.
And we understand if they can hit our planet, which means we need Space Force to get there and figure out how we can have this thing avoid our planet or something like that. Like Armageddon.
Exactly. That's the first thing I think of is Armageddon.
Like, that's what a Space Force would do, right?
Yeah.
It's dedicated to finding out and like researching ways to
well, they have ways to redirect comets like that now. And sometimes it actually...
That's what you think. But I also think that it is also to establish a presence in the outer atmosphere, and like kind of like how we had the Star Wars program of the 80s, right? How do we defend ourselves from space? Like, from other countries on Earth from space, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's another reason why.
Wait, say it again?
So, like, what he's saying is like...
Oh, okay, I get it.
Like, if we were going to send a nuke from space or through space, or like, nukes can go into the atmosphere and then come back in and be undetectable that way, right?
I don't remember.
But
like, it is just... I don't think it's not just about, like, defending ourselves from asteroids or whatever.
Right. So I'm saying the same thing, yeah. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, but you're also talking about astrology, so I'm not sure always 100% where you're going with things.
But does it not tie in, though? The whole point I was trying to make
to astrology? No, it doesn't tie into astrology at all.
The whole point...
Isaac going hard.
Listen, look. The whole point I was trying to make is that we advance so much so fast that what do you think the next 5 years... Within the next 5 years...
I think you're thinking of astronomy.
Delete all that shit. Delete everything. We're gonna take it from the top, and I'm gonna say astronomy. Delete everything. None of this happened.
Oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing I've heard all week.
Delete all of that. My thing is, I've said astrology maybe 30, 40 times, and you didn't correct me. I said Hitler. You were quick to jump on that, but you let me say astrology all the time. You knew what I meant.
Yeah, I did. But it was
be
fun.
Fair,
15 minutes deep.
To be fair, you came to this conversation. You came into this podcast today saying you had this conversation with other people, and none of them.
I never said that.
You said you had this conversation about people.
Also,
right?
I really wanted to start from the part from the side of things of you starting by saying like I'm the smartest man in the room. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to let you
dig your
talk
whole
about astrology.
dig your grave. But you said you've been talking to people about this.
I haven't spoken to anyone about this.
You did
because
earlier.
I want to be intimate between us, and I trust you guys.
But you did.
You hit me with the
before we started the podcast. You said, "Hey guys, I've been into astrology lately," and then we all laughed. And we were talking about, are you talking about your sign and everything? You said, somebody else said that when I mentioned this to them too, right? That's what you said.
Well, maybe they were playing with me too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They let you come into this conversation thinking you're still talking about astrology.
I just want you all to know that I take this personal, and I'm gonna and I will retaliate.
This is Michael Jordan over here.
I mean, Geminis are known to take things personally.
Because we had this, we started this conversation before we started rolling. And you guys let me roll, and now it ruins my reputation.
Because when you say things like I'm the smartest guy in this room, we gotta let you fall hard. You gotta humble yourself.
It's the gravity.
Did you learn that from astrology too?
I was gonna say that was discovered by Plato, I think.
Oh, that's a myth though, right?
Yeah, that's a myth.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Well, there's really nothing else to say about it now. I said what I said.
You sure did.
I said what I said. We'll clean everything up in post.
I cannot wait to see the clips from this episode.
Man, I meant to say astronomy.
I wish Ri'Yadh was here. He would let you have it. He would be calling you all kind of names. Oh boy. All right. Anyway.
Well, still. So do you still not agree that? I mean, we've advanced so much. I mean, I think that we're going to do more in the next 5 years than what we've done in the past 50.
I think our biggest jump in technology came after World War II. Wasn't it because we have so many things we got from the Nazis? There were so many different just technological jumps.
Also, that's when like computers were invented by Turing.
And so I just feel like ever since then, things have just been progressing so fast. It's like a snowball just rolling downhill.
There's a term for that, but I don't want to say the wrong thing.
It's like a snowball rolling downhill so fast, it's hard to catch up. Like even today, like you get an iPhone now, and next year they're gonna be talking about, all right, that iPhone is outdated. You know, it happens so fast now. I don't know what's next. Actually, I did see something about augmented. What was it? Augmented reality or VR?
Oh, the metaverse.
That basically where it's gonna be like, you know, remember Wall-E, where those people were just floating in those chairs and getting fat and just not doing anything because everything was done for them.
Yeah.
It's gonna. I feel like if it happens this way, it could become like this, where there's gonna be a group of people who decide, I don't care about getting a neural chip or something, right? Where all my needs can be met. You know, I can get my vitals taken and looked at any given time. I don't even have to leave my bed. Or if I'm hungry, I can tell that I'm going to be hungry before I'm hungry and have something ordered to me, blah, 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 and all that stuff without even have to lift a finger. And then there's going to be a group of people like, well, I want to do exercise. I don't want a neural chip. I don't want to get that surgery. I don't want to live that kind of life. I don't want to be that sedimentary or whatever the word is, right? And there's going to be like two classes where it's going to be harder and harder to not live without a neural chip or to live without the metaverse and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like driving cars, right? People are like, well, I like riding my bikes. I like doing the horse and carriage thing. But when cars became more popular and more accessible and things started spreading out where, you know, you go to a job that's 30 minutes away and that's the norm now. How many people you see walking to work? How many people you see riding their bike to work? How many people you see riding a horse to work?
Look at airplanes. Look how easy it is to say, well, I'm going to go, catch a flight to Chicago and do a meeting, then probably hit to LA to see my family. Just like that. Who would have thought? Yeah.
Now, if you look at a person, if you come to a person right now and see them walking and you be like, hey man, you need a ride or something? Not saying you would do this, but like if you ask this person if they need a ride or something, they're like, no, I don't drive cars. Like, what?
Wait a second.
Are you stupid?
Why didn't you bring up astrology when I was talking about it and like have the definition up? Or like normally when we talk about stuff, it's brought up and I could be like, oh, right.
Because you're so confident in your answer. I didn't want to,
I was confident. The Industrial Revolution. That's what it was.
Industrial or industrial?
Industrial.
Okay.
Revolution. That's what it was. That's what really kickstarted our economy, like as humans.
Most technological advances happens after wars, like Trell was saying, after World War II. Even after World War I, there was stuff that happened that we advanced off. So
Yeah,
also,
feminism.
I mean-
that's what happened.
so unless somebody plans on another World War III,
The other
anytime
thing
soon,
with
nothing
war
bad
is that
gonna happen.
World War III is going to
War-
be completely digital. It's just going to be Call of Duty, them versus us, one matchmaking mode.
You know the reason for that, right? Because everybody has nukes now, and nobody wants to be the
you
first
ever
person to shoot.
what movie was that where the kid was like a VR where he was like he was a
Ready
soldier.
Player One.
I don't think
Ender's
it was
Game.
what.
Yeah,
Ender's Game.
That is one of them. That's a great book, by the way. You read that book before? That's a great book.
The Last Starfighter.
I don't remember. There was just a movie where this kid was like VR and he was like recruited
Wreck-It
as a
Ralph.
soldier. No, he was like a soldier or something.
I'm gonna wreck it.
It was the Death
Gamer.
Race. Was it Death Race with Jason Statham where the kid was controlling him because he was a prisoner to drive the car?
I think that's Gamer.
No, Death Race. Jason Statham was a prisoner, and to drive the car, you had to like win the race. But it was
that's
like,
Death Race.
yeah, it's like all these
Mad
cars
Max.
had different, kind of like
No,
Mad
no,
Max.
it wasn't Death Race.
What was Death Race about?
Death
You
Race
had
is
to-
about
you had to
get
win the
jail,
race to get
but
out of
they
prison.
had to race
That's
in
what I'm
cars.
talking
Yeah,
about.
but I
And
don't
the-
remember him being controlled by
Yeah, he
nobody.
wasn't.
There was a kid controlling him, and then when he realized when the kid realized that this was a real person and it wasn't a video game, that's when Jason Statham was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is what I need you to do to win this race because I'm actually going to die if you make the wrong mistake.
That sounds like that's right.
But like that's, if you're talking about digital, that's what war could become if we're able to do something like that.
Just like all-
neurochip or something.
Just robotic.
Yeah, robotic or like like we can be controlling droids and stuff like that.
Or we just create Terminators and then, call
Yeah,
that
I mean, it's funny how all this stuff really seems like it'd be.
Isn't it crazy? Like 10, 15, 20 years ago, people be thinking like, oh, we're going to be flying cars and oh, AI will be so cool. But now we're at a stage where like, it's kind of creepy if you think about all that stuff. Like cars flying around all the time,
Right.
AI doing things without us telling it
But
to.
at the same time, that also allows a lot of other things to go under the radar, like cell phones and FaceTime.
Yeah.
Look at drones. Like, we have drones. And if you think even 20 years ago, that would be like insane. But now it's like a drone
Think
is
about
a
this.
toy.
I have a drone, and like you said, drones are like a toy. I was looking for Christmas presents for Kaden earlier.
And you
and
flew the drone in Walmart?
No, I'm saying there are drones that are like $20. There are legit drones that
Right.
can do things. But the thing is, like, you can easily attach a gun to a drone and pull a trigger, and no one would ever know.
No one would know.
It's crazy. I mean, that's real life.
And we become numb to this. Like, look at Facebook. The metaverse is something that we thought about that could happen. Like, they've done parodies of it, and it's like, this is going to be the new thing.
You know
like,
what-
no
Okay,
questions
but
asked.
the whole like, you're right, but also like, they would know. Like they would figure that out.
They would,
They would-
but will they
Are we
know
talking about
too
the,
late?
the drone thing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's
Oh,
IP
yeah, of
addresses.
course. Yeah.
I mean, they figured it, but the deed would be done.
Oh, yeah. So we have like books and stuff that talks about these kind of like things that can happen in the future and things we need to recognize and pay attention to. But throughout culture shifts and time, we just kind of not thought about that stuff. And then you get to a point where you're like, hey, man, this is kind of sketchy if you think about this AI stuff. And then you go back and read a book that was like written 60 years ago. They're like, wait a minute. They were talking about computers taking over the world and stuff. Now we have this metaverse world and AI can do things and AI can be smarter than humans. And, you know, what's stopping that AI from realizing that it doesn't need humans to keep going? And what if it realized that humans are the worst thing for the world and stuff like that? You know, like things like that. It's kind of scary when you think about it
It's
that
like
way.
Ultron.
Right. And so what happens is we look at it now as like, oh, this is cool. This is new technology. This is great. You know, at one point, what was it, like the early 90s, face scan was something that you didn't even think about.
Or something that you only saw in, like,
in
James Bond movies.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
now we do it every single day when we open our phone.
even realize.
Thousands of times a day. But what I'm saying is like now we have movies about like Ultron and stuff like that where like robots and AI taking over the world and things like that. What if that's happening 20, 50 years from now?
Then in 20, 50 years, Earth would be the worst Marvel movie ever.
I was gonna say, like, to link it back to the previous conversation. Yeah, I think ETs are not our concern.
Yeah, it's us.
It's like the whole we've met our own worst enemy, and it's us. Like we're our own worst enemy, and
I was gonna say that we're our worst enemy.
Yeah, and I think the AI situation is definitely kind of and just the automation of everything. Like one well placed EMP, or
that's what we talked about, right? What would you do if there was an EMP?
Well,
a lot of people would die.
Yeah.
So we can kind of transition this conversation because we're talking about the metaverse. So we can talk about, the future of the web. Since the internet was created, now we're moving on to Web 3, which is going to include like the currencies. We have cryptocurrencies.
The Web 3, what's that?
Well, so it goes.
Keep going.
The internet was first, created so that we can read. We can read articles, newspapers, and send information. And just how we would read a newspaper, we would read it on a screen. And then it came to Web 2 where we can communicate that. Now we can read and we can post. That's how you get Facebook, social media. I can say something, you can say something, and we can share this information now, and we can rewrite it. Now with Web 3, it's going to be transitional. We can, send money, buy things, sell things, bid. Like, it's now what we're doing is creating a new currency, but it's all digital. Not just something you can see in your bank statement, like, with Visa or your online banking. But now we can get NFTs. So now that turns physical things into a digital, with a finite amount. So now it's like digital gold. Or how we say.
Speaking of the web, right? Let's talk about Spider-Man. No, I'm just kidding.
What do you mean, let's talk about Spider-Man? Spider-Man hasn't come out yet.
I mean, when this comes out, Spider-Man will have been out.
When this comes out, it's going to be Christmas. So, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Happy
I wish we
Hanukkah,
could talk about
whatever.
Spider-Man, but Ri'Yadh's not here, and he saw it. You the only one that didn't see it. Yeah. And I told you weeks ago.
To be fair, we do not have to talk about the Spider-Man that just came out in theaters. We could talk about Spider-Man in general. Because I did watch all of the other Spider-Man movies to get up to this one.
If you guys want to talk about Spider-Man, I'm completely fine with that. You can tell me about Spider-Man, but just don't tell the spoilers.
So he got bit by a radioactive spider. And that gave him the ability.
Well, tell me this. Tell me this. You said this is the best Spider-Man, the best Marvel movie.
Ri'Yadh said that. Oh, best Marvel movie. Yeah, Ri'Yadh said that.
And then Isaac said that he didn't think so. See, it doesn't. We can't even talk about it because
there's a difference of opinion, which means you're gonna have to go into the nitty gritty of it, which means it's gonna spoil everything for you.
But also, Ri'Yadh has to defend himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be a one-sided argument. But I'm really interested in knowing what you have to say. But to be honest, what you have to say really wouldn't matter because I haven't seen it yet for myself.
Yeah. I will say it's very, very good.
Very, very good.
How would you rank it?
As far as Marvel movies, MCU.
As far as the MCU?
Yeah.
I mean, it's top 10 definitely.
Whoa. Top 10?
Top 10?
I said at least.
You didn't even watch the movie.
No. I'm saying top. No. I'm saying
didn't
top.
Finish. I said at least it's top 10.
Okay.
And I think it's probably pushing top 5 for me. Like it's in the top 5. I don't think it's the best.
I said
What movies do you think are better?
Could be better. I should say.
I think that Black Panther's better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Really?
I think. Yeah.
He's racist. He doesn't like Black Panther. Keep going.
You thought so as a movie guy, you think that was good writing in Black Panther?
Killmonger. Think about that story. That's obviously that Killmonger, his character as a villain was, you even said this, was the best villain in MCU, right?
Yeah, well, I think that for personal, I mean, I relate to that personally because I understand the story, but also it's basically Lion King written as
You don't think if that's true, you don't think
Lion King was
good?
Hamlet. So
was
There's
it?
nothing new under the sun, remember? Anyway, I was kind of saying the same thing you were saying, Isaac. I went and saw it, and when I left, I remember saying this to my friends that it was there are like 3 or 4, maybe 4 movies in the MCU that I really really liked, and I would have to watch those 3 or 4 movies along with Spider-Man just to remember and see which one is better because it could be in my top 5, top 3 maybe. I literally just have to watch those movies to see.
But yeah, I would put Winter Soldier up there.
I personally say Guardians.
Guardians is in the conversation. I think honestly Infinity War. I don't think Endgame, but I think Infinity War is in that conversation. I don't even think it's the best Spider-Man movie.
Whoa, that's what I was gonna ask next. How do you rank it amongst Spider-Man movies?
Now it's
in the top 3.
Ooh.
Out of every Spider-Man movie.
Of every Spider-Man movie.
Can we say?
But I don't think it's the top.
Can we say the Amazing Spider-Man? None of them were in the top 5.
In the top 5?
Yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man is Garfield.
Dude,
right?
here's the yeah. I personally like the Andrew Garfield movies more than the 2 Tom Holland movies. I like this one better than any of the Andrew Garfield ones. But the first 2 Tom Holland movies did not connect to me at all.
Okay, I don't feel like I really didn't like the second Tom Holland movie. The first
I did. I really liked that one.
I really didn't like it. I didn't like Mysterio as a villain either. Well, the way they portrayed him as the villain in there, I didn't like that. That was kind of just corny and cheesy. He didn't even seem like a true villain. He just sounded like some super fan who wanted to get recognized. It was lame.
Jeez, I guess not to put it that way.
That is basically Mysterio.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was just lame. I mean, you can pick a better villain, you know? Like
the Mandarin.
When we talk about Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man, like that's a villain. That's someone who has an internal battle.
Doc Ock.
And then you have to face him, but you also don't want to kill him, but you kind of have to kill him. And then like his son wants to get revenge. Like that's a story right there. That's what I want to see from a villain. That's why I like Killmonger, was because he had that internal thing that there's something he had a mission, and Mysterio was just kind of lame to me. So I didn't like that second Tom Holland movie.
What's your favorite Spider-Man?
I think Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's yeah. Oh my gosh, I want to talk.
I didn't
about
know we
this
were
new,
counting that one.
I want to talk about this new Spider-Man so bad, Cairo, because there's.
I was gonna say, even if we're not counting it, it still isn't my top Spider-Man movie. I would prefer Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3.
Same.
I'm one of the few people who like defend Spider-Man 3 rabidly.
I really like Spider-Man 2. That was probably my favorite Spider-Man. And again, I'll have to watch that next to this Spider-Man to see which one is top for me.
I know we had this conversation last time, but Isaac wasn't here for it. Isaac, who do you think is the better Spider-Man?
Ooh.
I think Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man.
What is the best Spider-Man?
Like the character of Spider-Man.
You mean like
That's what you're asking? Like not the best Spider-Man movie.
Behind the suit.
Behind the suit. Who's the best Spider-Man?
Who's the best Peter Parker then? If you're talking behind the suit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say best Peter Parker.
It's Tobey Maguire.
In my opinion, is Tobey Maguire.
Okay, yeah.
Remember,
best Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield.
And so why do you say that?
Andrew Garfield has the attitude of Spider-Man, and he also has the caringness of Spider-Man. There's a scene, and I think it's Amazing Spider-Man 2, where he
kills
and this is not in he stops this little kid from getting bullied, like just this random little kid, and it's like I'll walk you home, and connect with him, and it's like that's Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man looks out for the little guy, and but he's also a sarcastic asshole, and Andrew Garfield brings that out. Huh?
I said not more than Deadpool.
Not more than Deadpool, but he's got that side of him. especially when he's dealing with villains, and that comes out in Andrew Garfield's, and it's the only one that does it justice, in my opinion.
Yeah. From speaking of Deadpool, there's this guy I know. His name is Young Butters. He's on TikTok. He had a TikTok of him buying, I guess it was for Halloween, a Deadpool mask. And the mask looked good in the picture and on the package, but when he wears it, the eyes are so huge and it just doesn't look good. He was like, "What the heck is this? A live pool?" That was funny. Shout out to Butters. But I think that you have a good point about the Amazing Spider-Man movie. He played a good one. I just didn't like the movie.
I think he's a bad Peter Parker.
Yeah, I mean, dang, I can't ruin anything. See, it's so hard not to have this conversation because he's sitting right here, you know? But
I can't find movie tickets, so.
That's your fault. I told you
I was going to say, take responsibility for your lack of action in that arena.
Did you even look after?
I know Geminis like to procrastinate, but...
We're going to keep doing this to you. Did you not look after the other day we were
I didn't know to look the difference. Are we talking about astrology and astronomy or what?
We're talking about Spider-Man.
Nah, I didn't look. Even after I said I'm going to look as soon as I get off, I didn't look.
You don't want to see the movie.
Gosh.
I do want to see the movie now. But I mean, I kind of don't because he said it's not even the best Spider-Man movie.
Well, he said it's up there.
But Ri'Yadh said it was
It's
the best.
It's the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Ri'Yadh, you should listen.
And Ri'Yadh doesn't like anything.
That's what I was gonna say. Last time we were here, he said he's so tired with Marvel, he doesn't
Right.
even care about Spider-Man, and now he's saying it's the best. And you still haven't bought your ticket yet?
I don't want to see it by myself.
This guy is lame, man, I tell you.
Don't want to see it by myself.
You're a strong, independent man who can go see movies by himself.
See, I'm not that type of person. I don't say, "Oh, I'm a strong." I want to go see a movie with somebody. I want to be able to have a discussion when we walk out. It doesn't have to be a date. I mean, I go with one of my friends. We can go see it.
Go take your mama. Take Caden. He'll see it again.
I feel like Caden talks during movies.
He doesn't actually. You've seen him. He's
that
like
is right.
glued to the
Caden's
TV.
perfect. Yeah, you're right.
And then he'll like talk to you afterward, like as if. Listen.
Yeah, you're right.
These last 2 years, which is another reason why I wanted to start a podcast.
I thought you were about to say another reason when I have another kid.
I do want to have another kid, but that's a different subject. But these last 2 years of like having to stay home and working from home and stuff like that, I've realized that I don't know how to communicate anymore except through kid language because I have to like not dumb down the way I speak, but kind of like speak on a level that Caden can understand me. And then when I get out and have conversations with y'all, and I'm
like I came in the house and went and used the bathroom, and immediately he comes in. He's like, "Cairo, come here. You see this? Do you see this on the toilet? Here, lift that up. Do you see that? What is that?" I said, I don't know, ceramic? He's like, "It's pee. It's pee because when you pee, it gets on the toilet." And then he made me clean.
It's hard for me to have conversations with adults, like intellectual conversations with adults now, because it took like 2 years of just me and Caden, and it was hard to bounce back. But I appreciate having these conversations with y'all and stuff. But
it's like that. Like when I remember,
even about astrology.
Listen, when I was in a relationship, it's like you get so used to like tempering yourself around women. And then it's like when you're around your boys, it's like, "Hey guys, I have to go."
Where the B words?
No, it's like I gotta go. I gotta go poop real quick. I have to fart, and I don't want to interrupt, so I'm gonna go back into the bathroom and fart. And it's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I can fart, scratch, and burp in public, and it's cool."
That's the girl you're with though.
So when you're around your girlfriend, you can fart.
I don't have a girlfriend, but I'm
saying when you're in a relationship.
Oh, I would love to be around a girl who I can just fart around.
But would you let her do that around you?
I want to be comfortable around her, and I want her to be comfortable around me. I don't want to be like walking on eggshells every time I come around my girlfriend.
The last girl I dated, as far as I'm concerned, she didn't have a butthole. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I said what I said. As far as I'm concerned. I never seen it.
Yeah, I just think like, I'm even at this point. Maybe you are, Isaac. I don't know. Maybe not. But like, especially if I'm gonna marry somebody, I'm gonna love them. I'm willing to like.
We all got buttholes.
Yeah, they're like opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And signs.
here's a little transition here. Wash said this is a topic we should get on.
Okay, 1 second though.
Go ahead.
Here we
Because the buttholes thing just sparked something in me.
Oh boy.
go. Say that again.
Okay, not that something.
There's our clip right there.
Yes, I'm freaky, okay? That's okay. Let's put that aside for a second though. It's kind of blew my. Do you guys
I didn't see
reach
it.
around and wipe from like down up, or do you go through your legs?
That's some girl stuff to go through your legs, right? You got right? Wait, what are you looking? Do you wipe like that?
No, I'm. My mind is blown because I never thought about that. But you can't go through your legs. Well, black guys, we can't do that. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, Isaac. I can't go through my legs. I typically reach around and get them in the back. But it's funny that you mentioned that because last week we were talking about do you wipe back to front or front to back?
Okay.
Do you?
I was watching Middle Ditch and Schwartz, which is an incredible comedy on Netflix, which is like completely improv. It's really great.
What's it
There was
called?
one scene where they're like miming in the bathroom, like it's completely improv, and they're like pretending to wipe, and they both like went between their legs and wrapped and wiped like toward. And I was like, that's not a thing, is it?
Are they British?
No.
They're American?
Yeah.
I don't understand that concept of wiping, but like whoever, how do you start that? Like how?
Women can't do that.
What do you mean?
They can't wipe from back to front.
Well, it depends on what they're wiping. If they're dabbing for after they pee, then they go front. If they take a dump, then obviously they bend over and wipe. Who doesn't bend over, spread their
Dab
cheeks?
after you pee?
Girls dab. You didn't know that?
No.
They dab the place where they pee at. They just
Women pee out their butts.
the butt.
I thought your girl didn't have a butt.
I have no clue about women astrology.
Astrology. They're water signs.
Yeah, that
Are you aware of their astronomy? Oh my god, amazing.
No, yeah, it's whoever teaches a person to wipe from the front. I don't understand how you do that.
I don't know
You
either.
get
But
potty
that's
trained, but do they ever teach you how to wipe?
When you potty train, I'm pretty sure you.
Did you potty? I seen you potty train Caden,
You
which was a horrible job, by the way.
Oh, Caden does a great job. My grandma potty trained.
Not at the time. I mean, I remember, like,
What age was he?
I remember he stayed at the house one time, and you were gone somewhere, and it was me and my mom, and she was like, "Does that boy know how to wipe?" I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "When do kids learn how to wipe?" And then, sure enough, Caden's like, "I'm ready." We both look at each other, and I'm like, "You have to go in there. I can't do it." And then she's like, I don't know how I'm not a boy. I don't know, how do you get around these things?" And it's like,
You don't get around it. It's too big.
yeah,
That's why you go. That's why you bend over.
he takes after his father.
I like that. The compliment.
Technically, I guess. The jury's still out on that one.
All right. So how do you wipe? Do you wipe front to back or back to front?
Usually
we understand nobody wipes between the legs.
Okay, let's do this the right way. Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you stand or sit?
Ooh.
Be honest.
I do not sit.
Okay.
What?
Valid.
Wipe when you're sitting?
Valid.
Do you use the bathroom standing or sitting? One or two? I'll go first. I sit whether I'm doing one or two. Well, if I'm doing number two, I'm going to sit while I'm doing number one. And you're probably thinking, well, yeah, kill two birds with one stone.
Sure.
Ri'Yadh,
What about number 3?
there you go. Ri'Yadh will sit while he's pooping and then stand up and pee and then sit back down and finish pooping.
What?
What the? What?
Are you lying? He has to be here to defend
Do
himself.
I strike you as the type of person that would lie about something like that?
Wow.
Me,
weird as
I'm
hell.
doing everything while I'm sitting down. I'm so like if I go in there to pee,
Is he able to tuck it between his legs? Is that the problem?
I don't know.
You may have a point. Though Ri'Yadh does splash a lot when he sits.
My thing is like I'm
sorry. You sitting in this position as we're having this conversation is very distracting to me.
Is this better?
That's better.
So
Thank you.
so I'm efficient. When I go in, if I'm setting up to pee, and then while I'm peeing, it's like, you know what? I gotta poop. I'm not gonna sit down because I'm already up. So I'm just gonna turn around, let it rip, then turn back around 4-3-60.
But doesn't everybody pee when they poop?
That's not like a law.
I mean, every time I poop, pee comes. It's like an automatic thing.
Out your butthole?
Yeah, it's like a.
No, not on my phone.
I know astronomy is hard for you, but
Wait.
it's not how it works.
So you're sitting on the toilet
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah.
pee while you're pooping?
As soon as I
Yes.
poop, like even before I poop, it's like as soon as I sit on the toilet, just pee, and poop comes at the same time,
And
or
you
it
just
comes.
drop it in the toilet and you just start peeing?
Yeah, like as soon as I sit, I start peeing, and then the poop starts coming while I'm peeing.
That's how gravity works.
Ugh, but what if
Do you-
your pee? What if your pee touches the poop?
It's in the toilet.
White guys don't
They're-
have that problem.
They're supposed to touch the same thing.
No, I mean like your pee, your wee touches your poop.
Well,
when it's in the toilet.
I don't curl it backwards. I'm not trying to stab myself in the butt with it.
So you just let it drop in the water and then
No, I obviously hold it so it doesn't drop in the water.
I don't want to touch anything down there while I'm pooping.
So what do? You just lay it on the side like a
I
So cradle
not
it?
as a joke, but I'm gonna throw it on my lap or it's like not as a joke or what.
throw it over his shoulder like a continental soldier.
I don't mean like that. I mean like it's not gonna be dropping into the toilet. It's gonna be out the way.
Yeah.
But isn't it supposed to like come up when you poop? When you
Wait,
poop,
what?
it restricts. Like it comes in when you poop. Like naturally, that's how our bodies are built.
I'm confused. Are you talking about pee or penis?
Wait a second. I haven't seen other people's stuff like that, so let me just make sure it's clear. Everybody has one wee and two balls, right? Just making
I'm
sure.
sorry for ever bringing this conversation up.
Am I
regret
right?
everything.
Like everybody
Yes.
has the same thing,
Yes.
And a butthole, like all jokes aside, there's a
our
butthole.
astronomy is the same.
right? So when you're pooping, it's like a vacuum. Everything comes in, right?
No.
No.
Interesting. Or are you saying like your
What's like a vacuum? Your
Exactly.
penis?
Are you saying like your butthole just sucks
Yes.
all your stuff in?
Yeah. Well, when you're squeezing to get the poop out, it
No, actually, the way your prostate works, if you squeeze, you pee too.
did not know that.
You got a loose butthole?
Is that what would
I was
cause
gonna
it?
say, somebody.
Could be.
Wait, were you the one that spent a night in jail one time? 'Cause now things are starting to come together.
You did go to jail.
So okay, so we all white, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't.
I mean, I dab.
But what about the bidet?
Yeah, I dab because of the water.
So everyone agrees we're wrapping 2-3 times around the fingers.
If I didn't have a bidet, I would wrap like 6 or 7, maybe 8 times.
Okay.
Okay, but do you wipe and fold and rewipe?
Ooh, yes,
Yes.
I do. Wait, how many times do you
okay.
fold?
As many times as I can.
7 times?
I
That's
said as many times as I can.
7. 7 is the limit. That's like
you can't fold
scientifically proven.
anything past 7. If you fold it past 7, you'll wipe it with your fingers.
Right.
The fingers can be washed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, I know people who
No,
do
to
that.
answer the question, I never did. I usually go. All right, so front is like towards the taint.
Yeah.
Yes. That
Okay,
was the
so I
third
usually
question.
go-
How did you wipe?
Okay.
Well, we skipped one. How do you get the paper down? Do you pull the paper from over the top or over the bottom?
No, it's over the top.
Yes.
If you're over the bottom or whatever, you're an anarchist. and I
You're
don't
making a
trust you ever.
mess if you go from the bottom. Because
I agree. Only cats go pull from the bottom,
Yeah, if you come from the bottom, it's just gonna keep going.
and it's gonna be that jump like that.
Yeah, and then you also have to turn it to find it. Where if it's over the top, as soon as you rip it, it's just
Yeah.
or you
it's
could
ripped
just
at the top.
do one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. What about
So,
you, Nate?
yeah.
Same?
Then-
We all agree. We all have one wee, two balls. We wrap around
And no
we pull
butthole.
down, stand at the
I
peak.
do not wrap. I don't always wrap.
Okay, what do you do?
Do you use 2-ply? Wait, you don't wrap.
You
What
don't
do
you don't like paper ball it, do you?
Not paper
God,
ball it, but I
only
usually make like
savages do that.
I know.
no. I like do a like paper sheet. You know, it's easy to fold.
So you
I
just
do
like
the folds without the wrap.
okay, let me get it straight. So you pull it off the top, you get
So
up.
it's like this. So it's like this.
Did he pull out
It's
toilet
like just a piece. No, this is paper.
How'd you get there? I thought we were out of toilet paper. It's pandemic times.
This is just paper.
Okay. So you're saying
Yeah.
you get it and you take it off the top and then you just start
Yeah.
folding it in your hand.
Yeah, I just make a little maxi pad out of toilet paper.
That's a lot of work.
Question. What's a maxi
Yeah.
pad?
All right, so that's related to female astronomy.
So, so the final question is,
How many times?
do we courtesy flush?
That's a good one. Every once in a while I do. If I know it's gonna be a long sit, I will.
Control. I've seen you poop. We're gonna leave it at that.
You've seen him poop?
I physically seen him poop. They're all long sits.
They are.
I can't count how many times he's come out the bathroom like saying his legs are numb.
That happens. I've fallen asleep on the toilet before.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable place, man. Until you stand
Right.
up and you can't go anywhere.
So we all wipe, from the taint back. Obviously, we
Yes.
can't
Okay.
do it anymore.
Okay, that's how I start.
Boom.
You've got to do at least 2
Yes. Reason why.
from the top down.
Reason why is because when you start from tank back, you wipe. What you're doing is you're getting a lot of it on the tissue, but you're also pushing some of it back up your crack, like towards your back. So you have to wipe the opposite way to clean that part too, or else you're just
Yes.
gonna have back crack poop sitting in your belt line all day long.
Question: does everyone have hair going down the line of the crack? That's what makes
Say
y'all
again?
normal. It's a normal
Say
thing,
again?
right? So when the first wave comes out, it's typically hairier than the rest, right? Just want to make sure.
Turn on light.
You ever see a vacuum, if you will? You see a vacuum and you see how the lines go down like a zipper almost.
Yeah,
We all
is
have
that how your butt crack hair is?
Well, my hair is coarse. It's very curly, but same concept, right? Everybody has hair in their butt crack, right?
I mean, unless you clean it out, like you can wax it or whatnot.
No, there's no reason to do that. I mean, I bleach it, but it doesn't. I don't wax it. I don't take it off. Why would
is
I
your
do that?
butt hair crack blonde?
No, it's like a reddish hue. The carpet matches
like
the
a-
drapes.
You got like Eminem hair.
No, more like Malcolm X.
Okay.
So you're saying your butthole hair just does this?
Yes.
So it's like creating like a little pocket of poop when you are taking a dump.
Yes.
So
It's like a Venus ass trap.
Got it.
yes. So when you're wiping, do you not wipe the other way to make sure you're cleaning it properly, like to get it all out?
Well, no, I have a method. I call it the Cairo Method. So what I do is after I've done the regular wiping, right, I get another piece of tissue, and what I do is I tear a hole in it and I stick my finger through. Stick with me. Stick my finger in the butthole, clean the rim, and then get the sides real good, and then pull it out. Now remember, I still have the tissue around it, so I take that tissue.
I've
clean it like that.
I've seen this bit, by the way.
Yeah. I feel like-
I've seen this.
yep, it
Speaking of
works.
which, Isaac, do you know Brilliant Idiots, right?
Billy,
Brilliant
Irish?
Idiots.
Is that Charlemagne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy Whack on there, right? No, Wax. He said he didn't know this, and I'm pretty sure he's 100% genuine when he says this, but he thought it was normal because they were having a conversation, kind of like this conversation, and he was like, "So you saying you don't scoop the poop?" And he was like, "What are you talking about, scoop the poop?" He was like, "Don't everybody like you scoop, you put your hand down there and you catch it before it hit the toilet, the water?" And they were like, "No, why are you catching your poop?" He was like, "So you don't get the splash." He was like,
That's why you courtesy flush.
Well, he's like, you catch it before it hit the water, so you don't splash back. And he legit thought this is how you're supposed to take a dump. He thought everybody did that, and they were like, no, nobody's reaching back.
What
there
are you
to catch
using to
food.
scoop it?
His hand. He's like cupping his butt, catching it, laying it in the water calmly.
And then he's putting it in the water.
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna
I wonder
got-
what it's like for diarrhea though.
I got one more method that I occasionally do if it's a particularly messy deal. Is you put your foot up on top of the bathtub or something.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you do the spread a little bit.
Oh yeah, I
Put your foot-
just manually go in one cheek, and then just twerk it out.
I literally just like
You
bend over.
do have a loose ass, don't you?
What?
You had some shit happen.
No, because it's so tight. I gotta twerk it out.
Just clap it out.
When I was in school, people used to come in the bathroom and be like, "What is going on in there?"
Oh, you come in the bathroom.
Kyro's constipated again.
You come in the bathroom and it's at school. All you hear is
I was gonna say you're
What the
slapping
heck was
cheeks is
that?
a different type of thing
I gotta
than everybody
transfer.
else, isn't it? Clapping cheeks is a different thing for you.
wobble it out. All right, let's take a break. All right, guys, we back. I wanted to show y'all something. So I got this at church. Some people from church. We had a white elephant party, and
Explain what a white elephant party is. Explain the origin of it, real quick.
all right, really quick for people who don't know. In fact, you may even want to like fact check me because it could have changed. But white elephant party is based off the tradition of the white elephant gifting, which is like I think it was an African thing, where kings would get together and make treaties or just have parties and like get to know each other and things like that. But it was more of like to keep the peace kind of thing. And Cairo, Isaac, let me know if you heard this before. But what they would do is, it's kind of like Kim Jong-un and Trump. Like maybe they don't like each other, but they try to make peace so there isn't war and stuff like that. And so what you would do is you would bring gifts, right? Your people meet my people. We exchange gifts. We have pleasantries. We sign treaties or whatever. We part ways. But if you didn't particularly like the king that you're meeting, what you would do is bring a white elephant as a gift. Because one, of all your elephants, which one would you want to give away? The white one. And then also giving someone an elephant, it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of resources to take care of it. So when you're giving someone a white elephant, one, it's kind of like one of those gifts you just get and you're like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. But you can't really throw it away or give it away because next time they see it, they're going to be like, oh, so you just disrespect my gift? So that's what white elephant gifting kind of comes from. And so what you do is even sometimes it will like they would use it to like cripple the kingdom's economy because it had to support the elephant, and if they didn't support the elephant, then it seemed like they were disrespecting, and then that means it could cause turmoil and all that stuff. So anyway, so we had a white elephant gifting party the other day, and this is one of them. I had to steal it. Well, you have a chance to steal somebody else's gift, and I stole this just because I wanted to show you guys. Isaac, you ready?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen it.
You seen it?
I was at your house, yeah. When it was that. Don't you remember? You showed it to me.
No, I just got this.
You did?
Yeah, I just got this like 3-4 days
If
ago.
it's what... Okay, if it's not what I think it is, then I'm very confused.
What do you think it is?
I'm going to see.
Because I know it's not what you think it is.
Okay.
Unless you can time travel or something. What do you think it is?
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna send you a text.
Go ahead.
With what I thought it said.
This is
what
why
I
we need
thought
our
it
phones
was.
during podcast, dude.
All right, where are you? Control. Okay, I'll send it to the group text, the Storytellers.
All right. Let me see if you get this right. If you get this right, it's amazing. I don't know how you get this.
You got it right?
I didn't see it yet.
Wait.
When did you come to my house?
With Nikki.
Yeah, but I didn't have this.
That's so weird, dude.
Isaac,
I have this in
how
my
the
mind.
heck did you know I had a Nicolas Cage pillow?
You showed me this. I'm telling you.
What?
What?
I am not lying. I just got this Monday.
What?
What the heck is going on?
What?
Are-
You just got that Monday?
Yes, Monday at a party. I literally, somebody picked it up in the white elephant, and then I stole their gift and kept it because I knew I would show it to you guys and this would be funny.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
So
Did I just
what are
have
you
like a
thinking about?
dream that's 100% what I was thinking.
How the heck, Isaac? This is some astrology junk right
When
here.
was the last time you been here?
The last time I was there was in
Like, It was
after-
right before the summer, like
after
May
we
or
got
June or something.
It was after we got engaged, so it was in June when we were coming back from Myrtle Beach.
June. I did not have that.
What the heck? Dude, in my mind, I have sitting on the couch and you like showing me this pillow.
This is absolute.
Did you FaceTime him or something?
I haven't talked to Isaac
No.
at all.
Dude, I do be having some dreams that come true.
The
so
power
this
of
is weird
Nicolas
as
Cage,
hell.
man.
The greatest thing ever.
Oh, speaking of which, have you seen his new movie?
The new trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Really? Yeah, I think so too. I'm glad he's doing something.
This is weird, dude.
That is weird. Speaking of weird, guess what? Somebody called me earlier this week, right? Can you guess
Yeah.
who it was? Let me see if your psychic powers work here too.
Eddie?
How the heck? Yeah, Eddie called me randomly, FaceTime me. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So Eddie called me.
Then
This is what I sent Nathan earlier. Nathan, share your screen with Isaac really quick. Show him this video. Because I don't know if you knew about this, but Eddie told me about it, and I was like amazed. Well, amazed. It just was crazy. He called me out of blue and FaceTime me, which is weird because Eddie won't ever, you don't hear from him for like 2 years.
Yeah, right? He
But
called
then-
me on Halloween.
Yeah. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Go to the video.
Oh, dude, yeah. Sam sent me this.
Really?
His leg? Yeah.
Look at this, Cairo. Eddie is our friend from Maryland, right? This is the guy we would go to his house, him and his wife's house, and watch The Walking Dead with, and play fantasy football with. So he sent me. He called me and told me about this, and I was like, "There's no way that happened." And yeah, that's nasty, man. He broke his leg, and that was easy. It just snapped. It wasn't like he was falling in a weird angle or anything. It's not like he was like tripped over anything or landed on something wrong. He just a regular jump. And
Well,
it
what
just
happens is the more you jump, the looser the bone gets, and it gets soft, and it's more prone to breaking. It's a fact.
I believe you.
Did you learn that in astronomy class?
That's what I was gonna ask.
You mean, yeah. No, I mean, I didn't. That was, I know there's a term for it.
Anatomy?
Boneology? Oh, yeah.
Bone. All right. Anyway, let's get back to
Paleontology?
paleontology. Here's the topic that I want to bring up that Wash asked me to bring up a couple weeks ago, but I think this is a good time. He wants to know why you are still single, but that also would go for me too, though.
Why I'm still single?
Yeah, like what's the purpose? Like why don't you have a girlfriend?
Why don't he ask him? Why don't you ask him that question?
Well, he wanted to ask the question. I guess it's a topic for us to just bring up. Why are we single? What's the point of?
Well, I mean, I'm single now,
Yeah,
but I
Is it
wasn't.
because you're
I mean,
a Gemini?
No, because we broke up. Probably because I'm a Gemini. But I mean, we broke up. But I dated after that, and then we broke up. I mean, you
you win
you're
something.
in a
You lose some?
relationship. Well, yeah. I mean, you're in a relationship. You hope for the best. It doesn't work out, then you're not. And then you try again, and then see what that happens. And you go.
Let me ask you this: do you think that
It's weird that I find it weird that he asked that question when my whole thing was why? How come you've never been in a relationship?
Yeah, I mean, that's the.
Because
And,
You're
and I
most-
haven't been single for a long time. I've been single for like a month, maybe not even.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But I think that's the ethos of the whole question, and I don't even know what ethos means. But the fact is, like, we all have different reasons for why we're single, or like different things have brought us to being single. Like for Watch, like why are you still single? We don't know anybody you've ever really dated, like girlfriend ever. Me, I've been single for like 10 plus years,
and I don't even question that. I mean, I have. You gave me an answer, and that's it.
Did I give you an answer?
Well, in a way you did. Like, I mean, you explained everything about what you're looking for and what you have, and you know, your way of going about it, and I accept it. It's like, all right, it makes sense. You know.
Yeah, I think a thing I don't really talk about. I don't really know how to talk about it, actually. I don't know how to put into words, but I can try. I think part of the reason why I'm single is maybe like I don't want to say insecurity, but I think that's the way you would classify it. I just, the kind of person that I want to be with is an amazing woman, right? And she is the person that we were talking about earlier, the person that I feel comfortable enough to fart in front of, a person I can tell a joke to and she can take it and give a joke back. Like, she is my best friend, right? But also, she's an amazing mom. She's an amazing support. She will support me. She's smart. She knows what she's talking about. She's someone who can check me when I get out of line. And, you know, she respects me enough to where I can check her when she gets out of line. Like, we work together as a team. Like, I want this great woman. And for some reason, a part of me is just like, who are you that deserves that? And I just, it's something, I even talked to my pastor about it once. It's like, when I look at my life and my past and who I am today and just the things that I want to do in my future, and like right now, for example, if I get married today, I can't guarantee that like I can buy a house, take care of my wife and my kid if she doesn't want to work or something like that. And I want to be able to do that. But if I keep telling myself that that's where I have to be to marry somebody, then I'm keep pushing the goal line further and further back to where I'm going to be 80 years old and still not be married. And I just feel like that's something I got to get over. Also, the fact that me just feeling like I don't deserve that great person that I want to be with. And that's the hardest thing, because, like, there are girls that I've met, or I can say, like, couples that I've seen and, like, females that I've met, and I'm like, oh, man, that'll be, like, a great woman. That's a great woman. Or my friend, he's married to a great wife. Like, the way she supports him, how she's there through thick and thin. Like, gosh, I want to be with somebody like that. But then I look at myself, I'm like, who am I? Like, do I deserve that? Can I have that? And if I do get that, how long will she stick around? You know? And I think, again, that's just an insecurity that I think about, and I don't know how to get over it. I think I just got to, like, charge head first and just go into it and see what happens. But
I mean, everyone has different strategies. It seems like yours is more of the measure twice, cut once, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Me, it's like I'm reluctant to do so, but it seems like the best way of going about it is to date. And, you know, if a woman has A, B, C, and you want D, E, F, then you have to kind of like find who has what and just get the most out of it, you know? You're not going to get all. You have to take the pros and the cons to go with the bad.
That's the other thing about, like, wanting to be with somebody. I know, like, there are areas in my life where I'm weak in, and I want her to have those strengths. And I want to be able to be strong in my areas that I feel like I'm strong in, to where I can fill in her gaps. Like the hills and valleys, I want to fill in her valleys. I want her to fill in mine.
That's why they say you complete me. You know, it's
yeah.
Did you say you wanted to fill in her gaps?
Yes,
well,
I
yeah,
do.
that's a part of relationships too.
That's a part of marriage, Isaac. That's how you procreate. I don't know if you
mean
noticed
it,
that.
but it isn't plural. There's only one gap. Well, there's two. 3 if you're kinky.
I don't know. Your girlfriend, you just talked about how you.
I was gonna say, you said that you didn't have.
Well, yeah. Traditionally, orally, and the ears. Okay. The ears are underrated, but they count.
Okay, because I was gonna say that's probably why you're single. You couldn't find a butthole.
I'm single because I couldn't find it.
You can fit it in her ears?
Yeah.
But you can't reach between your legs to wipe your butt. Well, what you got? Spaghetti down there?
Well, yeah, it's all about length. Girth. It's not about girth. It's about length. You can put it in one ear and out the other, like the Mad TV magazine. They say size doesn't matter, but we all know it's all about the length.
We all know.
Isaac, also, this is like going full circle. We talked about you and getting married the first time in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about how like you went to therapy, or your girl went to therapy. You guys got together after you went through all of your stuff, and then found each other again, and were able to be good for each other. And now you're getting married. And sometimes after that conversation, I'm thinking like, do I need to sit down with somebody? And like I did with my pastor once, but maybe there's more work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
To just sit down and think through who I am. I mean, I know who I am, but be more optimistic about who I can be, because to this day, like I look at my life, I'm like, I can do this, I'm great at that. Oh, I know I'll be a good husband. I know people tell me all the time I'm a great father, and I had a friend, you
You are a great father.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Ange.
Yeah.
She watched an episode, by the way, but I don't remember if I told you. She texted me one time and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Trell, you're such a great father." And I was like, I don't know, man. I try my best. I'm trying to figure out how to be good at this every single day. I don't feel like I'm the best, so I'm working hard. And she's like, well, the fact that you are working hard to do better every single day makes you a great father. And that's just that's the attitude I take in everything that I go into. Even like with this podcast, I want to do better every time we make a new episode. And I know I will be like that as a husband too. I want to do better. I never feel like good. I never feel like I never want to feel like I'm doing good enough. I always want to feel like I can do better. Me and Caden talk about this all the time. He wants to play basketball. You have to go into it with the attitude of, I can be better. I may not be good now, but I can be. And so same thing with being a husband, a father, anything that I do, I want to go into it with an attitude that I can be better. I can always be better. There's no ceiling for me in the things that I want to do if I have that attitude. And then I think about who I am, and I'm just like, is this all I can be? Like, can I be better for her? Like, I have this mentality going through my head. I can be better. I can do better. I can be the best. I can be the best. I can keep doing better. I can find a wife and I'll be the best husband ever. But as soon as it becomes real, there's a girl in front of me that I could ask out on a date. I'm like, can I be that guy that I want to be? Am I worth it? Will she wait out and see if I'm going to be that guy?
See, I didn't know you felt that way about it. I mean, I deal with that too, but I guess I just never think about it. I think the main reason that I'm single now, and it's the more that I date, the shorter they get, because it's almost like you get discouraged. My thing is I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
And each time that I do a relationship, it's almost like standard deviation. How many times do I have to do this in order to get it right? And is it even worth it? And am I going to be happy during the time? And if I am, should I just enjoy the time that I am dating and just not look at the end, and not expect anything from it and just see what happens?
I do feel like that sometimes can be a downfall too, when you're constantly looking at the end and not enjoying the time that you're in right now.
Because you start to realize your mortality, and then it starts to light a fire under you, and it's not always a good thing. See, my thing was, well, I can keep doing this, and it's fun, but then, and I almost feel sorry for women, and I'm being serious about this, because, like, as I get older, now it's like, all right, at some point, I'm going to want to have children, or at least there's a thought of it, because when do I reach that threshold to where it's out of the question now? And I'm saying this as a man. It's like, I'm 32. If I want to have a child, I would like to be married. And, if I'm going to be married, I would like to, be with that woman for at least 5 years. Or I don't want to put a time on it, but it's like there has to be time in between there. So now I'm looking, best case scenario, my first child, I'll be in my 40s.
Yeah. And
so imagine how a woman feels when there's like a biological clock ticking, and they have to do it before they, get to a point to where it becomes a risk to her body and the child.
Yeah, that's like my dad, when they got married, they had my little sister.
Yeah, that's right.
They had her when they were in their 40s, early 40s. And that was scary. They didn't want to talk. They didn't want to let everybody know until they were sure, because it could have not happened.
And then there's the whole thing of, for me, and maybe you probably have a completely different outlook on it, but for me, it's like, if I want to have a child, I would like for the mother of my child, my wife, to not have her own children, so that we can enjoy the experience together. That for the first time.
Say that one more time.
If I have a child, I would like for the mother of my child to not have any children of our own. That way we can enjoy the experience together. You know?
Like, you wouldn't want to marry a single mother.
I would prefer not to. You know, I have nothing against single mothers. It's just if I have the option, if I had a child of my own, I would probably feel differently about it. But this isn't to say, you know, I have anything against them. It's just that if I have that option, I would like to, you know, have us, you know, go through that together for the first time. There's so many things. There's so many variables in another being with someone who already has a child, because do you care for that child the same as you would your own flesh and blood?
That's one thing that
Be honest.
Me and Caden have had this conversation before too. Because
right, yeah,
he's 10. He understands that daddy is going to get married one day, or hopefully we'll get married one day. I may have brothers and sisters who didn't come from the same mom and things like that. I'm going to have a new woman in my life that's going to have to, you know, treat me as her kid or something like that. And I personally could. Like, I can love someone else's child.
I think you can. But then there's always a matter of, what if that was your own child, would you love them more?
I don't think so. I think it'll be the same, because I think when I'm getting married to somebody, I'm taking whatever she has. Like, if she's in debt or something, like if she went to college and she has like this debt, I'm taking that on too. Like, when I marry her, I understand that every problem or every good thing or bad thing that she has going on is mine as well. So this kid that she has is my responsibility too. And the thing is, obviously, I want to marry someone who's responsible, who's a responsible parent. So I don't want to be with someone who's like has a baby daddy that's lingering around and like causing trouble and stuff like that, right? That's a bit of a different story. But if I'm with someone who's a responsible mother and she has a kid, and that kid, you know, is a good kid and everything, even if they're a troubled child, like, I'm still gonna love them as if it was my troubled child.
But now that's a responsibility that you're taking on that you would otherwise not have to deal with.
Right, but I mean, if you love someone, then you're gonna take that. Just like I said with the debt, if she went to college and she has that debt, then that's debt I'm gonna have to deal with too when I'm marrying her, because I'm marrying into the same thing she's doing. She's doing the same thing.
Okay,
for
so
me.
I'm glad you brought that up. So, like 10 minutes ago, you were just saying, you know, am I worthy? You know, everything that I bring to the table. So let's take that all. You bring that to the table, and what they bring to the table. Now you ask yourself, are they worth it? Are they worth it? You know, are they worthy of your love? Are they worthy of having a man like you?
And that's the thing too. Is like, for me, I ask myself, am I worthy of this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so down on myself. Like, maybe I'm not worth who this person deserves to be with. But when I go into a relationship and I love somebody, that doesn't cross my mind at all. I don't care about if you feel worthy or not. Like, I know that I love you. However you feel like you are on the scale of worthiness, it doesn't matter, because I love you.
Right.
And so I get what you're saying.
Okay, all right.
So I should understand that when someone loves me, I should feel that way. But you know how psychology works. Your brain just doesn't fix itself overnight. Okay. It's a process of learning that. And it's just like abused people. Like, it's a process of them being abused for so long to where they get out into the world, they meet people who actually love them. It's like, oh, this is not my comfort zone, so let me ruin this relationship in some way.
And that's why they say love languages and childhood traumas. They can affect, like earlier how we were talking about why I wipe my butt the way I do. I mean, there you go. It's just those things, they come back and they always get you in the long run.
Yeah. So I mean, like, and I'm not saying like I'm gonna marry somebody and be like, oh, how do I ruin this before it ruins itself kind of person. I'm not like that.
Sabotage you.
Yeah, I'm not a sabotaging kind of person. I'm the person who will like go ahead.
There's unconscious sabotaging too. And like that type of insecurity can sabotage where like you're manifesting what you're worried about. Like a lot of times that whole like I'm going to try not to be this person for the longest time, that's who you turn into. Like it's because that's what you're focused on. And like there's that level of like the one relationship that I sabotaged, it related to my self-worth a lot. And it was I'm connecting very hard with a lot of what you're saying, where it was like I felt like I had messed up myself and like I had insecurities about my physical attractiveness and stuff. So that led me to like withdraw physically to where I was even scared to hold her hand because I didn't feel worthy to do that.
Yeah.
And at the very same time, that's what was pushing her away of like, he's not holding my hand. Like, he doesn't love me.
It's
that type of thing.
That conundrum is you
Yeah.
do one thing to avoid it, and then you end up being the very person that you try to avoid.
And you know this comes.
Yeah, so you're not consciously sabotaging it, but like if you go into it with certain
happen.
mindsets, it
And
can.
So which brings us back to Wash's question. That could be, you say that's the reason why you're single. For me, I get picked on. They call me misogynist and everything, but the truth is, maybe I'm just hurt. Did you ever think of that? Maybe I'm just hurt.
Oh, I know you're hurt, and that's why. I mean, we make jokes, but when we have our serious conversation, like I know.
Yeah, so maybe it's like, man, I did all of these things right. I was the nice guy, and I did all these things, and what did I get from it?
You
A
know
broken
what?
heart.
I think for me too, I just thought about what Isaac was saying about like the unconscious like sabotage. You understand my past, my dating history, and it's not pretty because I can go into a relationship. By the way, I can say this: I did enough self-reflecting to understand my part in this, but I can take I've been the person who will go into a relationship head over heels, full speed ahead, and because I didn't feel worthy, I would just relinquish all faculties to anything this person wanted, to the point where like I became like a slave, if you will.
I've done the same thing.
And when you do that, there's
Women
no
don't like that.
there's no good that can come from that, because you get mistreated, and then that person becomes an
advantage of.
abuser, and they don't even realize it.
I'm glad you brought that up. So I've actually been on both sides. I've been in the relationship where I was the one that was, the guy that was paying for everything, the gifts, taking care. I've done everything. So after that, I did the opposite. And I became the very person that I hated. And I received that love and affection from someone else who was trying to push that to me. And I found myself acting the same way that I was treated. And I woke up and I'm looking at my phone, I'm reading the text messages, and I'm looking at the blue and the gray, and it's like, wow, this is me now. I'm the person that's doing the same things that I hated, saying the same things in the same ways. And I'm like, did I pick that up, or am I just naturally becoming this? And it takes me back to the old Batman movie. You remember those saying, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain? Mm-hmm. That's what had happened. I'd become the very person that I despised.
All right, so what you were saying just now, well, we were just talking about how like you can become the slave, if you will, and be abused, kind of thing, and it can flip. It can flip because at some point you tell yourself, I'm not going to be in those shoes anymore, so you unconsciously say, I'm going to be the person that's doing that stuff, right? And like you said, you become the person that you vow not to be.
Sorry.
I have realized, like I said, I did a lot of self-reflecting. Like I've been single for 10 years. I've come to the point to realize what my flaws were in those kind of relationships. And I have this confidence about myself now, and this I'm humble, but I also am confident. I understand who I should be in my relationship. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying like I'm going to be like this misogynist, like, women should stay in the kitchen type of dude or anything. Is I understand my role in a relationship and how I can be a beneficial partner. And so me understanding that now puts me in a better place to be in a relationship, which I never felt before. I never understood that before until
you get your own little swagger, right?
Yeah. And like I've been through these different kind of relationships before where I can look back and be like, I see where I went wrong, and I see where I need to change. I see the man I need to be.
That's all a part of growing, and you live and you learn. So, do you think that maybe this has to? Would you consider yourself to be a late bloomer?
As far as relationships, yeah.
I mean, me too. I think I'm a very late bloomer. I lost my virginity late. I wasn't even allowed to date. I didn't start talking to women till later in life. I didn't have my first real relationship till just recently. So I feel like a lot of people who start early, they have all that time to learn those lessons, whether it be the easy way or the hard way. And then, people like us, we're learning, but it's almost like walking through a jungle and you have the guy in front that's chopping down the path with the machete and you're kind of walking behind him, letting him lead the path. We're the people that's behind. We're not getting that full experience, but at the same time, we're not dealing with the bad either.
Yeah, he's whacking all of the stuff and getting cuts and stuff all over his faces, but you're coming behind like swatting that little branch out of the way,
right?
And don't really hit you too much.
So he's getting the experience.
And then he gets out of the way, and you're like, "Oh snap! I don't know how to cut down these bushes."
Exactly, and that's kind of like how we are. And you were,
well, for
grew
me,
up with your father in your life.
Yeah, and I would say this too. I think for me, I got my experience. And it shut me down for a long time because of the scars.
And I think a lot of people get shut down. The only difference is when you get shut down, it's like, boom, right in the middle of life, you get shut down. As opposed to getting shut down when you're 16.
Well, yeah.
You're more resilient to it.
I got shut down when I was like, 19?
Well, yeah. Well, when you're in high school and you get shut down, it's like, oh, well, on to the next one. But when you're 25, 35 and you get shut down, it's like, I got bigger fish to fry. I got to pay these bills. I can't sit around and,
True.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, I can't waste 5 years of my life with another woman when I could be doing a lot of other things in that time.
For me, getting shut down when I was 19, 20 years old and having a kid, my life could change drastically. I'm like, all right, listen, I know I'm scarred from a relationship, but I have to keep doing something because I have a life to take care
Exactly.
of. I have 2 lives to take care of now. I can't afford to not keep going. And so I had to like deal with the pain and all that stuff as well as provide and take care of my son and raise him too.
Because now you're the guy in the front that's chopping down the branches and Caden's behind you.
Yeah, and now I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, I have to be this man that I want my son to grow up and be. I want to see him be a successful man. I want to see him have a happy family. I want to see him get married and have kids.
And most importantly, you don't want to see him make the same mistakes that you did.
Exactly. And we have these conversations all the time. So
with Caden?
Oh, me and Caden have deep conversations.
I'm not surprised.
All the time. But I mean, so like I said, I'm in a great place to be married. It's just every once in a while those little thoughts come in, like, are you worthy? Like, do you deserve this girl that you like right now? But I can tell myself yes. It's just I have to put it in practice. I have to put it in practice. And I literally just have to ask a girl out to put it in practice.
Well,
there you go. All right, that's your homework. Next podcast, I want to hear the story of you asking out.
Yeah, and it kind of blows my mind that, you're not beating women off with the bat because it's like, I mean, you're
that's another thing. Well, there's another thing too. I've had to like deny a bunch of guys and girls. No lie. Like there's been guys.
I know. My heart still hurts a little bit, Kenzo. It's fine.
Hey, remember Eddie used to always say, we're going to get married one day?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've worked with like some guys that are just like, you find out that they have a crush on you. Like, dang, man. Like, you was my dude.
It's flattering, but.
Yeah, it is. You was my dude, man.
Well, he wanted you to be his dude, too.
That's true. He wanted to find my butthole.
Weirdly enough, I don't really get hit on by a bunch of guys, and I'm kind of
jealous.
I'm kind of offended by it. They must have found out about the way that I wipe. I think that has to be what it is.
He found out about the spaghetti noodle. That's what it was.
They heard that you were a Gemini, and they're like, "Oh man."
The weird thing is, like,
for the
I
record,
could be with
I looked it up.
and immediately, like, guys, I've seen Ri'Yadh be hit on by.
Ri'Yadh attracts guys. I can say
which
that.
is so weird. And growing up, I never understood that. It's like, I don't get it. When I'm in school, women call me gay, but they have no clue. Like, no guys
and
ever.
That's why he's a misogynist today.
I'm just saying, like, I don't understand. On one end, I'm getting stereotyped, and then on the other end, it's like none of this is happening. Cairo's like the manliest man, but it's crazy the type of things that happen.
Cairo's like going through high school, all the girls are calling him gay. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna be gay then. He gets out of high school and no guys want him. He's like, what? How do I lose? How do I win for losing?
I've had women call me gay while we're in bed after sex. Literally. You remember the time we was walking in the mall and we had just had a conversation?
You do have a spaghetti noodle.
Listen, do you remember we was in Walmart, right? And we had just got back from Maryland. And we was in Walmart. And I was walking in front of you and you was like, Cairo, look how you switch.
I did say that. I remember that.
And I turned around, I was like, you... I remember. You know who you're talking to, right?
It's funny because he does walk with the switch, and it was like
I have a bad hip.
Well, I don't know that.
From bouncing on the trampoline, it loosens your bones.
Was it a spaghetti noodle you were bouncing on?
Right. I was gonna say that. Okay. So I looked it up just for your information. If you want to use this information, apparently Geminis do very well with Leos, and with Aries and Libra.
Well, what's my horoscope for today?
3.
What's my horoscope? Do you guys believe in the Burnham effect? Is it the Burnham effect? The Burnham's law? Where it talks about how you can read any horoscope and it will match for any.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why I think that astrology stuff is.
Oh yeah, I don't believe in it.
It's crazy because like, it's funny because I can. People were talking about it years ago, and I would open up my horoscope and look at it. I was like, all this stuff can apply to like anybody.
Exactly.
And then I'll look at another one and say, well, that's part of me. That's me. Well, this one is me.
It's like
too.
people who like tarot readers, tarot card readers.
Oh yeah.
It's like
you say something vague, like I can. Oh, I'm sensing.
Did you have a recent death? One of your grandparents? Like, yeah, they're like 90 years old.
Yeah, everybody's
At some
grandparents
point,
dying every day.
Yeah.
He's like, did you have a recent death in your family, like a grandparent or something? Oh, you know what? 3 years ago, my great grandma died. Oh, what was her name? Was it an A or was
A
it
B?
A
C?
A? It was A. Agnes. Oh my gosh, that's my grandma. You're talking to her right now. She says she misses you. This woman didn't even know me, you know. But yeah.
But yeah, you definitely need to value yourself way more. And I'm not just telling you that as a friend. Like if I didn't know you, I would say the same thing. Just from your personality, your morals, your values.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And women don't even care about the fact that you have a child. Men look at women with a child as not a liability, but it's something else that they have to bring in. If a man has custody, you know, I don't know any men who has custody over their children except for you.
I was at the gas station one day and I had Kaden and my little sister with me. And, you know, they're the same age. And I was walking out and I got them like some pizza or something and got them some candy or whatever. We walked out and sat at it was at a QT, Quick Trip. We sat at the little picnic table out there and it was just 8. And this lady walked by and she was like, "Oh my gosh, are these your kids?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is my son, this is my little sister." And she was like, "Can I just take a picture of you?" And I was like, "Yeah, but why?" And she's like, "It's just amazing. You don't see too many black men taking care of their kids.
You gotta love it."
And I was like, she does have a point.
That's why I say we have to protect men like you at all costs because you're the last of a dying breed. And I hate to cut you off. You know, I get excited about you being such a good father. You know
no lie. I was thinking about this earlier when I was taking a dump. But, Cairo, you give me the most props.
I do. Listen, I always say this. Say what you want about me, but I believe in what I believe. I say what I say, and I stick to it. Like, the fact that you do that, if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't even want to have a child. But it's almost like I have to compete with you because I feel like I can do better.
This has been a running thing for Cairo for our entire life. As long as I've known Cairo, it's always been this thing where like I don't know, get a girlfriend and then he's like, "Yo, your girlfriend is pretty," or something like that. Or like I would like get a car. He's like, "All right, I got to one up you." It's like everything I do.
It's like the big brother mentality. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Competition is good.
I mean, it's something I wouldn't say like compare your life to, but it is cool just to see someone else's living.
To set a bar.
Set a bar. And you look at it, it's like, you know what, this is where I could be. And I'm not saying
it's
like,
healthy.
Like you, for example, you and your way you handle money and stuff. I look at that, I'm like, all right, I can. If he can do that, I can do that too.
And what comes out of that? Nothing bad comes out of it.
Right.
You just end up.
You have a goal to reach.
They say you should always be around the 5 people that you're around are the people that you relate to, or you know, you become that person, a mixture of all of them. So it's important. That's why I try to network. It's like if I'm talking to somebody, it isn't me saying, "Oh, I need to be better than you," or a jealousy thing. It's hey, I'm here. I'm gonna reach down and bring you up here. Then if you get higher than me, you reach down and you bring me up, instead of being crabs in a bucket, you know. And I think that's our biggest problem, you know, in our community, really in the world. I mean, it's a rat race.
Yeah.
And this is how it ends.
All right, what's up, boys and girls? It's me, Trell, here from the Storytellers Podcast. We're always looking for local talent. So if you make music, do art, anything like that, anything creative, let us know. Send us an email or a comment or something. Let us know. We may bring you on the podcast as a guest appearance, or we might just feature your art. So we can slide it in the podcast some way, somehow. Just let us know, because we're always looking for people in the local Charlotte area. All right, I got a story to tell y'all. This is on par with what we've been talking about tonight. But so there was this girl that I was just kind of like hanging out with. We were trying to see where things were and what we were gonna be doing.
What sign was she?
I don't know. It's just probably like, she might have been a Leo. I don't know.
It sounds like it.
Anyway, so we would just hang out every once in a while and like watch movies, watch TV shows, or like read a book together and stuff like that. And I would normally come see her after work. And you know me, I stay up late and I work all through the night, and then I'll wake up early and then drink a Monster to get through the day or something like that. And so this day I decided to get like some Starbucks before I went to see her. Mm-hmm. And if you know anything about like me and drinking coffee, I hate coffee, but whenever I do, it gives me the runs. So I went to go see her and stopped by Starbucks, got this. I get the same thing every time. It's actually, I have a Starbucks app. I don't get anything except this. And I only get it whenever like I'm in dire need of caffeine. But every time I go, I get a white chocolate mocha with 7 shots of white chocolate. Yeah, 7 shots. It's not, I like coffee with my sugar. So
We know.
But that was a good one. That was a good joke.
Yeah. Oh, we know. I think we can look through your dating history and tell that you like your white chocolate.
I was gonna make the same joke.
But so I got the white mocha, and I was drinking it on my way to her house because I think we were gonna watch a movie or something, and I needed to stay awake. Oh no, we were going through a book together.
Oh, you were going through a book? Kinky.
Going through
This is first base for Control, reading a book.
Just thought about that. Anyway, we were going through a book together, right? And so I get to her place. We're hanging out, cracking jokes, whatever, having fun, having a good time. And we crack the book open and start talking about the book a little bit. And then I start to feel a little rumbling in my stomach. And I'm thinking, I wonder how long I'm going to be here. And so we keep going through the book, and I'm still thinking to myself, I got to start planning my exit strategy. Because if I don't get out of here in the next hour or so, I'm probably going to have to take a dump here. And I don't want to do this. I mean, we just got started seeing each other. We're just hanging out. We didn't even like classify that we were like dating or anything. It was just more hanging out and stuff. But I stayed there, and because we're having a good conversation, we bounce off each other so good, and we were just having fun and whatever. I end up staying a little bit longer, and I'm still, at this point, I'm like sweating a little bit. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. But I'm sucked in. I can't just leave. Not to mention, we didn't get to the page that we said we were going to finish getting to yet. So I gotta sit it out. I gotta wait it out. So we're going through the book still, and it gets to the point where I just can't hold it anymore. I'm like, yo, this is bad. My stomach started doing a lot of. I'm like,
It was playing his exit strategy.
Oh, it was. It was ready. It was ready to go. I was ready to blow, man. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go to the bathroom. The problem with going to the bathroom is that the bathroom was like 5 feet away from where we were. And then I go in the bathroom and close the door, and it's one of those really light doors that's just made out of that plywood, like fake wood or whatever. And you close the door, and there's a little gap under the door too. Like, this is not gonna be pretty. So I'm sitting there. All right. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? I got to think this through. So I sit down on the toilet, and you know how it is when you want to pretend like you're not taking a dump. You kind of want to pee and then poop as fast as possible so you can get out. Mm. So I go in there. And I pee as loud as possible because I know she can hear everything I'm doing. Mm. I pee as loud as possible to make it sound like I'm peeing only. And then right after I finish peeing, I sit down as fast as I can and then just squirt it out as fast as possible. But because it squirted out. It was
no.
it was a bunch of the whole time. It was just like, and then it stopped for a second. You know, there's a pause in the action, and I'm like, all right, maybe I can hold the rest of this in and just make it through the night. Maybe she didn't hear anything.
Never do that.
Dude, I lied to you not. As soon as I started to get up, it was just like water. And the water was splashing all over the place, and it stank so bad.
You didn't run any water or turn on the fan?
I didn't think it was coming so fast, man. I didn't have a chance to think about it, but I had, like, I was just sitting there torturing myself, and I was just hating myself the entire time.
The toilet. And as soon as you came outside, she was like, I heard all of that.
I finished up, man. I felt so bad. I was like, I know she heard everything. I, wiped my butt front to back, and then turn on the water, wash my hands, and she didn't have any spray. And I'm thinking, this is probably going to be the end of this.
Yeah.
I go out there, she's sitting there waiting for me. We crack the book back open, and the whole time I can just smell myself.
Yuck.
Just from the bathroom.
Yuck.
And I was embarrassed the entire time I was there.
You got to make a joke about it. You have to make light when this comes to stuff like that. You have two things. You can either come out the bathroom and be like, yeah, so it was nice knowing you. I hope we can see each other later. And then you just walk out the door and leave. Or you come out and be like, woo, do not go in there. I mean, you got to do something. You can't just come out and start reading a book.
Just come out of the bathroom.
Cannot play it off like, so where were we?
I mean, she's probably just looking at the book, looking at you like, you nasty mother.
The funny thing is, to this day, we never talked about it, but I'm pretty sure she knew what I was doing in there, and she just kept it to herself.
See, that's a matter of confidence. See, if it was me, I would have. You got to break that ice.
Yeah.
Even if it makes you
And
look
you
goofy.
gotta, like, and that's the other thing. Like, I don't want to spill all our things, but, like, that's one of my things that I appreciate very much about my fiance. Is, like, I told her straight up, like, the first time, I was like, look, I'm human. I'm gonna fart. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, yeah, you're here. Like, that's fine. Like, that's how it is.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like,
You see, Isaac, I don't know you. I don't know you from a long time ago, so I can't really see your evolution. But I feel like you have, just from the little bit of
You've
time,
become that way, right?
I can tell that you have a lot of confidence in yourself now.
now.
Yeah, I mean, I could just see that.
Yeah.
Like you seem very confident in yourself. Like,
But long
That's
story.
good look.
partially true, and it's partially also like a very well rehearsed act. I feel like.
is it not what confidence is, anyways? I mean, well, maybe that's arrogance, but I feel the same way.
Cockiness.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Isaac, I was gonna say long story short. I was just thinking, your sister always says, whenever I say long story short, she's like, you always say long story short after you finish giving the long story.
You know what she should say
Yeah.
after a long story?
What?
The
Short.
end.
No, we're not ending there. You thought we was gonna end there.
That was perfect.
No, but I've realized from there, kind of like what you're saying, Isaac, though, is that I have grown to the point where now I'm comfortable where I would come out the bathroom, make a joke, or before I even go in the bathroom, I'm like, hey, listen, I'll be back. I gotta take a dump. So you might want to leave the room and not come back for 30 minutes.
About to blow up your bathroom.
Now, whenever controls at our house, it's always like, I have to use the bathroom. Let us use the bathroom first. So,
it's
because we know we may not get back in there until tonight.
Yeah, but yeah, I just gotta let the girl know from now on. It's like, listen, if I come out the bathroom with my legs wobbling, just know I've been sitting there for a while.
Or something else happened in there that you don't want to talk about.
That you don't need to know about.
Yeah.
If he takes the phone, oh yeah.
If I take my phone in the bathroom, you
already know. You already
you
know
know
what's
I'm
going.
you know I'm in the
I know it's
bathroom putting in work.
You see these dogs out here in your yard? You know, I'm in the
my
bathroom
God.
going hard.
Bing.
Bing bong.
You in the bathroom going hard
Yeah. Either way.
with your spaghetti noodle.
Yeah, you could do
All
number
that
one, number
spaghetti
two,
sauce
and
all
number
over the
three.
place. Yeah.
What would you say, Isaac?
I was just making a joke about his spaghetti sauce.
I guess that's what you call it, huh?